we want to send some prayers to the Robles Boxing Gym and the Robles family. Randy Robles is finally back home. He's home resting. He was in the hospital about 17 days. So we want to send him some prayers. We want to send him some love. So go ahead and do that, guys. Randy, we're still praying for you. We hope you recover, and we hope to see you back here in the gym training the kids and training the pro fighters.
We love you.
We love you a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you and welcome to another segment of Razor Sharp Sports. I'm Razor Ramon, and we're here live in Coolidge, Arizona at the Robles Boxing Gym. I'm here with Florence, local professional boxer and undefeated boxer, Edriech Kid Flash Rosa. Edriech, thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
For taking some time out of your day and out of your training camp to answer a few of my questions.
Yes, sir. Anytime.
Now, Edriech, you and I've said this before to a couple of fighters I've interviewed. We're no strangers to each other. We've trained together. I've had the opportunity to even trade leather with you in the ring. I've had the opportunity to interview you the first time after your pro debut.
Yep.
I've had the opportunity to actually ring walk with you before. I've been to every single one of your fights.
Yeah.
It's been absolutely such a crazy journey to see you in the gym and then see you in the pro fight. When I met you at the gym, we were in Mesa, Arizona at Broadway Boxing. We didn't really talk, but after a while you started training with Randy Robles. What were the events that led you to that gym?
So I came over here from the Bronx, New York, and I got a lot of experience in the Bronx sparring with great professional fighters. Some of them outgrew me, and now they're fighting for world titles or they're ranked and everything, and I would give them that work, you know. So I knew I had talent my whole life, and I never really liked the amateur, so I wasn't really an amateur. I didn't really care about amateur fights. I like to get my experience in the gym, going hard sparring matches. So I came over here from the Bronx. I went to a local gym out here in Arizona, and I got pushed because I was beating up one of their fighters and they got mad, so I had to leave that gym. And then I went to Broadway and just had a bad taste with certain coaches, and I just didn't want to commit to nobody. But then me and Randy got together and everything just clicked, you know. He took the time out with me to train me correctly, you know, to fix all the mistakes, all the little mistakes I had. And yeah, just wanted to leave New York, you know. It's a lot of tough things going on over there, you know, that I knew over here wouldn't be so bad, you know.
Now, your amateur career, you had 16 fights. All those fights you won by way of knockout.
Yeah, well, I had 25 fights. 16 were by knockout.
Okay. 25, 16 by knockout.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. That type of knockout ratio is high for amateurs.
Mm-hmm.
Amateurs, if not a lot of people know, for the amateurs, it's to show how you work your skills,
Yeah.
how to box. Necessarily, you don't really see a lot of knockouts.
Mm-hmm.
16 is a high number.
It is.
How did you feel about your record in the amateurs? Like getting 16 knockouts. What was the feeling when you got your first knockout?
It was amazing. You know, it was amazing to stop somebody, to feel their aura leaving from their body. You know, you feel them weakening up. You feel them starting to feel that pressure, starting to get broken down. And then, you know, a lot of people are tough, you know, till you're in that position and you get broken down and the pressure starts to build, you know. And it's an amazing feeling for the person that's doing that to the other person, you know. A lot of my knockouts, I don't really look for knockouts, you know. They call me Kid Flash, you know. It's my alias because I'm quick with my hands. But I guess the quickness brings the speed, the power, because after a while I hurt guys and I drop them, you know. So I think maybe it's just the technique mixed in with a lot of speed that gets the knockout, you know.
Absolutely. Now to run on to that answer that you told me about Kid Flash, where did that name come from? Every single fighter, they have their own type of style, their own type of attitude coming into the ring. Where did Kid Flash come from?
I've always been a very fast-handed fighter, and a lot of people would be like, "You got Flash. You're like the Flash. and that was kind of like my name. But then I was like, there's too many flashes, you know. So I was like, I gotta switch it up. So, and I looked at myself, I was like, I got a baby face and I'm kind of short, so Kid Flash works.
Kid Flash.
And Randy loved it, so we just went with it.
Now, going off that, you and I, like I said, we trained together. Randy Robles and Julie Robles are our coaches.
Big help, yeah.
Big help. You guys have come a long way. We're here at the Robles Boxing Gym. This gym wasn't here before. Matter of fact, you guys didn't have a gym for a year. You guys were training out in the canals of Florence, Arizona, in the desert, doing desert training, but still taking professional fights without a gym. Then you guys went from the gym to the Florence Community Center, and then from the Florence Community Center, you guys built the state-of-the-art gym. How does it feel knowing that you guys started, you know, no matter where you guys started, you guys ended up here, and this is such a big accomplishment?
Yeah, it's all praise to God, you know. Randy never quit on you know, he would always tell me, you know, I'm gonna get this gym for you, even though he got it for everybody. But back then he would just, you know, he'd come to me and be like, yo, I'm gonna get this gym, we're gonna get this gym. And he did it, you know. We're old school, we're tough guys, you know. Like Jack Dempsey said, you know, tough times make tough fighters. And we use those tough times to get tougher and get stronger. And honestly, training outside is amazing, you know. The weather, if it's hot, the weather starts breaking you down, you know. Everything is tougher outside, you know. So I feel like we got a lot of good work. And you know, you could train in your mama's garage, you know, as long as you got good coaching, good technique, and you're getting good sparring, you can be successful.
Now, your boxing career, you know, you have a tremendous boxing career right now. You're still growing, you're still learning, but also not a lot of people know you have one MMA fight. Can you talk about how that happened?
Yeah, so that was very interesting. I've been doing martial arts my whole life. My dad taught me martial arts, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai. I've done kickboxing, and never competed. I just always did it, like Saturday, Friday through Sunday, like in the mornings, you know, all the time. And the amateur is crazy, you know. It's like at my weight class, you go there and you may or may not have a fight, you know. So I didn't have any fights lined up at that time, and I really wanted to stay busy and stay focused. So I got offered a fight against a 3-0 MMA fighter, and I knew that I had the skills, I had the width and the power to win. And my wrestling is very high level. I knew that all I had to do was just keep it standing. So I said, all right, and I took the fight with like a week notice. Went out there, kept it standing, and I knocked him out in the first round. So it was interesting, but it was fun.
That's crazy. So it was just spring of the moment.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll take the fight.
Yeah.
You took it. You did all you could do to win, and you came out with the win by a crazy knockout. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. Well, yeah. MMA's kind of weird because when I knocked him down, I backed up. But I remembered, like, you can jump on them, you know?
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, dang. So I ran up there. But the ref had stopped it already. He was already unconscious.
Absolutely. That's crazy. You're from Puerto Rican descent.
Yeah.
Now, every single boxer, in my opinion, they have that one boxing idol that they look up to. Mine is Arturo Gatti. Who is your boxing idol that you looked up to growing up and saying, you know, I want to be him someday, or I want to be like him, I want to be the fighting style like him? Who is that certain fighter for you?
The fighter that really motivated me to be in boxing are two. You know, it had to be Tito Trinidad and Miguel Cotto. You know, Miguel Cotto, he's the last fighter I ever got emotionally attached to after he got beat by Margarito. You know, it was a hard loss.
That was a tough
Puerto
fight.
Ricans, you know.
Not only that, a lot of people didn't know Margarito had his hand wraps plastered.
Yeah, he had plastered hand wraps, and in the rematch, he got destroyed. But it broke me as a person, you know, because me being Puerto Rican, there's not a lot of Puerto Ricans, you know.
No, absolutely.
So just that's a lot of pride I keep on my shoulder. You know, when I go out there and I fight, I feel like I'm representing Puerto Rico, you know. Even if people are like, who are you, dude? You know, I'm still like, nah, you know, I gotta rep I'm from, you know. So it's very important for me to look up to those certain fighters. And Tito was one that I can remember the first time I ever really got into boxing, because I remember Tito had just I think he beat either Vargas or something, and I was in Puerto Rico, and I was in a church trip, and everything stopped, and Tito was riding in the whole entire island in a convertible Chevy, and I remember just looking out the church bus, and I was like, I want people to see me like that, you know. I want to be that guy driving across the whole entire island that motivates kids like me to be to get into the sport and represent Puerto Rico in that fashion.
You know, going off of what you said from there, wanting to be remembered and have people look up to you. What are you fighting for? There's fighters that fight for glory. There's fighters that fight for the respect, the fame. There's fighters that fight for their livelihood. What are you working to fight for? What do you want people to remember you as a fighter? When they look back and they look at Kid Flash's career and they say, you know what, Kid Flash, you know, even if you didn't captivate them in the ring, but you did something outside the ring, like what Tito did, and you drive, you know, right by, and you remember that. What do you want people to remember you by as a boxer?
Just somebody that went out there and gave it his all, you know, and motivate other Puerto Rican young kids to do the same thing, you know. Boxing is a very nationalistic sport. You know, I feel like everybody, Mexicans, they represent Mexico. Puerto Ricans represent Puerto Ricans. You know, people from UK, boxing's big in the UK. UK comes and they represent, you know. And at the end of the day, I just really want to, for myself, to be confident in where my career ended up at the end of the day, which in my opinion would be a world title, unify, and then by like 32, go to MMA and win an MMA title. So
that's crazy. That's a crazy, you know. But it's.
I want to be a two-sport champion.
Two-sport champion. You know what? There's a ton of boxers that have done that, and I have two more questions for you. Mm-hmm. Now, you have a fight coming up this month.
Yes, sir.
April 24th, live at the Corona Ranch in Phoenix, Arizona, which is by Sweet Science Boxing Promotions. This fight, a lot of people don't know, it's going to be held in the bull ring. This is going to be the second time you fought outside.
Yeah.
The first time you fought outside was your professional debut at the Casino del Sol in Tucson, Arizona. I was there that night. It was frigid. It was frigid. It was a bloodbath. It was absolutely mayhem. Not only was it cold, there was a wind chill. Mm-hmm. Also, you were the underdog of that fight. It was a Tucson crowd. It was hostile. Now that boxing is back in Arizona, you're fighting in Phoenix outside in the bull ring. Being out of a fight for so long, what are the emotions that are going through your head right now, waiting for April 24th?
This is just a fight, you know. I remember as an amateur, I boxed amateur since I was 16 all the way up to 22. Only got 20 something odd fights, so I have a lot of time where I would never take breaks, but I would train the whole time, stay in the gym. But you know, because of me being so small and that weight class is very rare to get fights in. You don't always get fights in as an amateur in the 105, 10 weight class, you know, because there's not that many men that are that small. So I'm used to taking long breaks in between my fights. I come to fight, and outside, the whole fighting outside thing, it doesn't really, I'm already used to it, you know. I feel like once you do something once, the next time you do it, if you already know what to expect, you know. Randy's a great coach, and we're gonna definitely be warmed up like we did on our first pro fight. That was the main key, you know. It was very cold outside, you know. That walk, when you're waiting to walk to the ring, you know, that's when you get the coldest, you know. So you just gotta stay moving around while you're waiting to come out. But I don't think it'll be a problem.
You know what? I have no doubts that you're gonna put on a show April 24th. Last question for you. I always like to ask this to the boxers so far. Who is, in your opinion, who do you think is the GOAT in boxing? Whether it's right now or of the past.
Go for me, it'd have to be Tito, Trinidad, and right now, I'd say Canelo. You know, Canelo's the best right now, I guess.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Edriech, for taking some time out of your day, answering a couple of my questions. Guys, don't forget, follow Edriech. What's your Instagram, Edriech?
Edriech, Edriech, and yeah, Facebook, Edriech Rosa.
Now, guys, go ahead, give him a follow, but also don't forget, catch him April 24th live at Corona Ranch, Phoenix, Arizona, brought to you by Sweet Science Boxing Promotions. Nothing gets sweeter than this. I'm Razor Ramon on Razor Sharp Sports, and that was Razor Sharp.